Brian Weiss with GolfTrips.com, and behind me are the cottages, lodges at Sand Valley, and I'm joined with Brandon Carter, Director of Marketing. Brandon, welcome to the episode. We are standing on hole number 13.
Oh, 11.
11. We're headed to 13 next. Hole number 11 at the Commons. It's a par. What's the par for the 13-hole course?
I'd have to add that up.
12-hole course.
There's one par 5. The rest is a combination of par 3s, par 4s. This hole in particular, a mid-length par 3. It's our Redan hole. It's going to be one of the better Redans that people have come across, given the setting, and it's going to be a tricky little tee shot, like most Redans tend to be. But beautiful location here. Feels unlike anything else on property.
Sure. I told them there was going to be no hard questions, and right out of the gates I asked them what the par is going to be, so I apologize. Let's get to some easy questions. Back-to-back years, new courses opening up at Sand Valley, the Lido in 2023 and 2024 was Sedge Valley. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. How many total holes do we have, or how many courses do we have on property now for Sand Valley?
Yeah, so five golf courses now. Commons opening next year will make 6. So the options for whatever kind of appetite you have for golf is here.
Sure. For those that don't know, Sand Valley, I say it's the Bandon Dunes of the Midwest, right? And there's huge sand dunes. I mean, it is definitely not your grandfather's Wisconsin, right? This is not what you think of when you think of Wisconsin. These massive sand dunes, and certainly a beautiful setting for a resort. So courses that you have the named resort Sand Valley course. Yep. You have Mammoth Dunes, which is an incredibly resort-friendly. It seems every time I hit a bad shot, it's bouncing back toward the green or the fairway. Very fun course. Then you have the Sandbox that opened up, which is a short course. I think it models the other 2 championship courses. So when you say a little par 3, get ready, bring your wedges, grab your beers, and get
Totally.
ready to hold on.
Yeah, I always say, you should just start there. If you could play it every day and figure those shots out, you'll be fine on the big courses.
Right.
It's the greens there's a lot of different template, inspired green complexes. Everything is firm and fast here, so you got to be able to spin the wedges, to hold the greens, or play the lower trajectory, kind of almost more of a bump and run sometimes.
Sure. Then we have the Lido, and you have to be a really crazy golf geek from a history standpoint or an architecture standpoint to even know what the Lido is. And so can you give me the skinny of what the Lido was and how you brought it here?
Yeah, the original Lido on Long Island, built in 1917, C.B. McDonald, Seth Rayner. It was known as one of the best designs, best golf courses in that era. It was, taken over by the Navy in 1942 and kind of just considered lost forever. The Kaiser family always wanted to rebuild the Lido. Old McDonald out at Bandon Dunes was going to be the site, but for those that have seen it, the natural features there are so big, and you don't want to mess with those. So it didn't make sense to destroy that just to rebuild the Lido there. So Old McDonald is really just an inspiration by design from Tom Doak and Jim Rabina. Then fast forward here. Obviously, a lot of sand.
Easy to sculpt, easy to move.
Exactly, and the piece of property that it's built on was, an area of the property that you would have had to create something anyway. You would have had to make a lot of movements to build something interesting. So it was kind of the perfect place to have to go in and resurrect the original Lido.
Sure.
So, yeah, GPS bulldozers, we had all the information, old images, old articles, everything that we needed thanks to Peter Flory. And they were able to piece that together and kind of build the topography map and, shape it from the GPS dozers
and bring that lost treasure back to us so that we can play, right here in the heartland of Wisconsin, which is pretty cool. Sedge Valley opened up, kind of another unique concept, a shorter course. I know some drivable par fours. Give me the skinny on Sedge Valley.
Yeah, that one is truly, we've always kind of said this is, Sand Valley is Heathland styled golf, sand based, firm and fast. We didn't have an ocean to be links golf, so it always felt more Heathland. But Sedge Valley is really, I think, the truest form of Heathland golf that we have here. It's kind of modeled out after some of the most famous courses in London, I've learned a lot as we've built different courses here, Lido for sure, and then doing the research into the style of Sedge Valley, looking at some of those famous courses. It is totally Heathland. Makes me want to go over there and play those courses just to do some research.
Get to Wisconsin first, right?
Yeah. But it's great. It's par 68. It tips out at under 6,000 yards. And you don't feel that when you come off the golf course. You've pulled driver almost all day, and you're wondering, like, how is it only 5,900 yards? I mean, I felt like that was everything. But the walk's really pleasant, totally contrasted to Lido. If you play Lido and Sedge in the same day, you wonder how you're on the same property.
Sure, it is pretty cool. What's unique about being here, walking only for all the courses. So bring an extra pair of golf shoes and get your cardio in before you get out here, because it is a good test of golf and a great walk. And each course, when you ask golfers after they get done playing the collection of courses, which is their favorite, I know I've had those conversations with a lot of golf travel writers and even just friends, and it's amazing. The answer isn't resounding the Lido or isn't resounding Mammoth Dunes. It's, I've had friends that say I would go and play Sedge Valley every single time, and when the concept came out, a shorter course, 68, I'm like, doesn't everybody want to play a 72, 18 holes, standard course? And similar, like, the fun that I had, drivable par fours and different sight lines, it is definitely, I can see where the love affair, and people are going to shoot one of their better scores because you have four less on the scorecard.
Like
so you're starting -4 already, right? So very cool. Hey, we got golfers excited on why coming here in the courses. Let's talk a little bit about lodging. What type of configurations do you have? I've seen a lodge. I've seen your main hotel. Share with us the different options for staying here.
Yeah, we have a great collection. Everything from single kings to standard double queens. Every lodging unit has a great view around the property. But then when you get into some of our larger units, we have a large number of four bed cottages now. There's 4-bed cottages. There's 6-bed. There's 8-bed. So the options are kind of endless, and like I said, no matter where you're staying on property, it's comfortable. It's everything that you need, nothing that you don't. The views are great. Everything is connected together. So you just hop on our shuttles and take you from point A to point B, and it's easy.
So you can handle groups of 2 to 200, or whatever. What does it say on your marketing brochure?
Yeah, I mean, everything from the solo traveler to the large groups.
Sure.
And it's really nice. A lot of our cottages are, they're spaced out, but they're all on a lake, screened in porch, fire pits. So, if you've got your foursome staying in one and next door your other foursome, I mean, you get together and hang out by the fire. And we have in-cottage dining that you can do. So if you don't even feel like going to the restaurant, you let us know ahead of time, and you could have a grill master cooking up steaks when you arrive, after your round of golf. So it's really a great experience all around.
Sure. I got an email, I think before the season even opened, the 2025 season, that lodging was available and packages were available for 2026. So I think this rumor kind of started that Sand Valley's booked for 2025. Lodging might be extremely tight, as we talked, but the day guest, how could you, if you wanted to play Sand Valley or some of the courses here, are you able to still play in 2025, and how do we do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Given we have a large number of lodging units, however, we also have a lot of different golf courses, which means a lot of tee times available throughout the season. So even running at near capacity for lodging, you can still come and play golf. We make it really easy. If you go to sandvalley.com, we make sure it's easy to find where to book your tee times online. We make it really convenient in that sense. And even if you have a date in mind and that's not available for golf, we have a whole system. We have a notify kind of wait list, so you could sign up for that. You only have one date you can play. If something opens up, you get a text message and an email, and you can book right there and play on your desired date. So
Sure.
Make it really easy. There is still availability for golf, and same for 2026 as well.
Sure. So I think if you live in Milwaukee, you live in Illinois, surrounding areas, come up, play for a day.
Yeah.
Maybe squeeze 36 in, get up early, go home late. You mentioned that if you're a twosome, there might be some spotty availability still for 2025. Certainly, the smaller the group, the easier accommodations. So you've taken tee times now for 2026. Probably filling up fast. How far in advance should the 12-somes or in larger groups be thinking ahead? And when does 27 come online? Or how can you be notified when future years availability becomes available?
Yeah, I would say the larger group that you plan to bring, the earlier you want to book, just to get your desired lodging. For 2026, lodging is pretty tight again. If you're a larger group, it might be a little bit of a challenge, but solo travelers, smaller groups, there's plenty there still. In order to get that notification, we really rely on sending out an e-blast through our, if you're an SV insider, as we call it. So you can go to sandvalley.com. Right at the bottom of the homepage, there's a place to sign up for that. That'll kind of be the first notification that goes out will be that email. And generally, we open up about a year in advance. So for 2027, it'll be, closer to the end of this year, maybe, January, February of 26. So.
Sure. Well, if you're looking to play golf at Sand Valley, there are options for smaller groups. For your larger groups, jump onto sandvalley.com to I guess, find out the availability. If you have a larger group, get them excited, get them organized, and start thinking, 9 months and a year and beyond.
Yeah.
Brandon?
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna. You can call anytime too, and
Sure.
if you have a large group, even if there isn't availability, you can be added to a wait list and kind of be the first to know there. So.
Sure. Hey, side note, the lodge up at the top, like serving $2 beers and $2 tacos, like that menu is insane. Like it's like 1985, no inflation prices. What do you get up there? I get the ice cream sandwich every time.
Yeah, I mean Craig's Porch, known famous for the $1 tacos, cheap drinks, ice cream sandwiches, and really the best view on property. It's one of the highest points, and it's kind of a panorama view. But it's pork or chicken tacos. I go chicken.
Chicken,
I like the chicken.
I go minus the shell, death by meat. I just say, give me 4 tacos and fill up the platter. It's pretty
They're
good. We made the mistake of not leading with food because it is that good. You will not make a mistake if you get your tee times, your lodging, and your group booked for Sand Valley.